Hello out there in podcast land, and welcome to the Bohemian Cauldron. I am your host, Demon Daddy Dale, and we have an ultra special, wonderful, magical, beautiful guest in the studio with us. We have Jennifer Rogers. Jennifer Rogers is one of the reader healers at Alchemy Gallery in Festus, and also proprietor of Sacred Spiral Healing. Is that correct?
Sacred Spiral Wellness. Yes, you are correct.
Wellness. All right. As a Reiki healer, certified Reiki healer, excellent cardomancy reader. And we are here today to get to know Jennifer a lot better. One of the big things that I like to ask new guests when they come on is, where did your journey begin? How did you get to be so magical in so many ways?
Thank you, Dale, for that introduction. I will try to remain grounded and put my wings down for a moment here. So I do have a lot of trouble myself staying grounded, so holding on to my black tourmaline, hoping that I can stay centered for you here today and not be all over the place. So thank you again for having me. It's hard to talk about yourself.
It is.
It's difficult.
I love putting everybody on the spot, though, and everybody is like, I don't know how to talk about myself. Well, learn now.
Yeah, let's make a list of pros and cons here. No, I don't think we would. Okay, we won't
push
go
you
there.
In the deep end of the pool.
I think I'm going to talk about other people. Let's talk about how I got here, because I owe a lot of why I am who I am to the knowledge I gained and experiences with other people in my life. So my grandmother, for instance, I owe a lot of credit to my grandma Jenny. Her name was Virginia, but they called her Jenny for short, Grandma Jenny. She was beautiful heart and soul, wonderful artist, magical artist. She painted with oil and watercolor, and she made some masterpieces in her time. And she was the person who taught me that we are all one. There is a source that source is not so much a higher power, but that source is within us all, and we are all connected to a greater whole. When we are feeling that connection, it's hard to explain and put words on, but God lives within us all. The spark of God is basically just the love that exists within each and every one of us.
Ooh.
And we are connected by that love within our hearts. And that is the source, that is the divine within us all. And we are all one. We are God, if you will.
Well, that is very true in many ways.
So I think I'm kind of extending the conversation we were having before we went on air.
Right,
and we got a little deep there. So kind of starting off a little deep, but her philosophy is very much what kind of molded and shaped me. I was brought up in a Christian Science church. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Mary Baker Eddy, formed a religion called Christian Science, and their philosophy was very metaphysically based. Your mind over matter was her philosophy, and she did follow a lot of the Bible quotes, but she gave her own twist on it, a lot of it. And what I took from what I learned as a child, and from my grandmother teaching me and taking me to Sunday school, was that our mind can manifest our reality. And the answer to sickness and dis-ease and disharmony is knowing that we are divine and that we are source. We are perfect. We are perfection, and we need to remember that we are whole always. So if we can remind ourselves of that. What my grandmother used to say to me every time I would get sick, for instance, you are God's perfect child. You are God's perfect child. To remember that you are omniscient and that you are one with the all. Reminding yourself of that and repeating that over and over when I was sick or in pain would just tell me, hey, remember who you are. This pain is an illusion.
Right.
What you're going through is an illusion, and bring yourself back to reality, back to center.
That is a very interesting breakdown of a particular religion that I know scares a lot of people. Like, I grew up on the south side of St. Louis, and we would frequently go for a walk, and there was this particular Christian Science church that was right there on Gravelway, and I would always question my parents about it, and they were just freaked out by that particular church.
That would have been my church.
That's the no doctor church, according to them. And
that was us.
Yes.
That was our church you're talking about right there.
And that is a good way of putting something into light in a new perspective for me, and for, I'm sure, a lot of our listeners out there.
So we were viewed as the people that don't go to the doctor, and that was kind of a little bit just the sum of it. If you want to look at it from that perspective, we did not go to the doctor. We felt that your mind could prevent you from becoming sick and preventing illness and disease. So it was more of a preventative medicine than it was not going to the doctor. I mean, if we had a broken bone, or if somebody, was extremely ill, you would go to a doctor. I mean, that's common sense.
Right. Yes.
But it was that whole mind, body, spirit approach. Yeah.
That is very cool. That is a very nice way.
It was a different way of being brought up than I was kind of the weird kid at school. And nobody quite that I could connect with on that level. I never really could connect with my peers. So
I imagine that would be, difficult. That has always been kind of a very, I don't want to say plaguing way of it happening, but it's especially with kids. What's new is back then it was very difficult to express something new and introduce something new into the sociology of kids. I do notice that now, especially now, thinking about my son and how he goes to school and how he treats things that are new versus how things were treated when I was younger, that it's a lot better now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But it's still, there's still work to be done. That doesn't mean we all get to slack off.
Right. There's still a lot of judgment out there. Kids are still getting bullied and for expressing themselves, which really sucks. And that's something that we need to work on. And I see changes happening there too a lot. My 12-year-old daughter can go to school, and people are talking about things like witchcraft, for instance, is such the new topic on everybody's tongue. So that's opened up a lot of doors for a lot of other things to come in. A lot of things about just truth and spirituality and whatever you want to term it. And so I'm really happy that things are opening up the way they are.
Oh yes, it's a lot more understanding out there. There's still a lot of work to be done. Now, I understand. Well, I mean, it's not difficult to find information that you are a Reiki healer and teacher, and I need to know. I mean, we just spoke about your upbringing and how did you learn. Where did you study for Reiki?
Reiki. Okay, so I studied for Reiki. I'll have to take a step back and start. My studies began a little bit before Reiki with my mediumship development started before Reiki, actually. So I believe just the freaky upbringing that I had with my grandmother led me to Reiki and everything else. But before that came more of my intuitive development. My grandmother was always open to the idea that we are sharing our space with spirits, and that it was very common to see them and talk to them, and that they were very much a part of our everyday life. When we had holidays, we had, when she would say grace or say the prayer at dinner time, everyone, whether they were with us in physical form or not, we talked to them as though they were there, and we communicated with the spirits around us, and we always honored them and had a place for them at the table, et cetera, et cetera. So bring me back to the subject again,
No.
which I tend to go off from. Reiki. So going back to the beginning, I would start with owing a lot of what I learned to Reverend Deborah Bourbon at Pathways, which is a metaphysical, I wouldn't call it a store, I would call it a source. It's a new age source for information and knowledge. And I found Deborah, thank the gods, and she sort of directed me on my path, or helped me find my own direction, I should say, on my spiritual path, because Pathways is kind of like a place that you could go to when you're not really you're feeling like, I don't belong to religion, I don't belong to this space, I don't belong to any sort of cliques or anything out there, what's my path? And she offered me a space to say, hey, it's okay not to have a path, but to explore all paths and mold your own. So that's what I was able to do at Pathways, and experience all the different cultures and beliefs and, sources out there. And I did a lot of studying for years and years. And under Deb's teaching, I learned a lot about mediumship and how to better communicate with the spirit world safely and more effectively. And so much. Then there were other teachers there as well. One of the teachers was my Reiki teacher, Karen Williams. She is a Reiki master. I think she still teaches. Don't quote me on that. I hope she still teaches. Our nickname for her is Reiki Mama. And she's an amazing soul. So if it weren't for Deborah, I would have never met my Reiki Mama or my Reiki master, Karen. I thank her for what she taught me. And Reiki is a whole other part of my soul, part of my life. It's teaching and sharing this knowledge with other people. And so I guess I can kind of get into just to briefly try to explain what Reiki is and give it a little bit of credit. My words don't always come when we're talking about energy. It can be difficult.
It's difficult because it's such an abstract concept.
Thank you. Yes,
of like going through, and yes, it
can be difficult to explain. If you can just imagine that everything is vibration, when it's down to the finest molecule, there is no physical form. Everything is energy and vibration. Everything that we see, including ourselves, we are all vibration, we are all energy. And what Reiki is basically, it is that energy. It's another word for it is chi. People may know it by chi, or prana is another word for this energy. It's a universal life force energy that exists within everything. It connects us all.
Nice. That is a very great summarization there. Thank you very much. Now, you are, like I mentioned, a certified teacher of Reiki and Reiki arts and sciences, and I was curious on what advice you would have to give someone who's just starting out, who wants to learn more about Reiki. Where can they begin their quest for balance and energy work and things like that?
That's a big question. So when looking for research, hands down, go find a book versus
books are your friends.
Yeah, right. Don't forget, books are our friends. We like to have knowledge that's been researched and referenced, and, we've got footnotes, and we can track where the information has come from. And it's kind of touchy when we get on the internet and read things, but there are some good sources on the internet. You can go to Reiki.org is one source that has some pretty good information. The lineage that I teach of Reiki is the Usui lineage. And I believe Reiki.org, I hope that's right. I'm going to get smacked by my Reiki mama if that's the wrong one. But you can get some more scientific backup and information on Reiki if you're looking for that, because I know a lot of people want to know, well, what is energy? Does it exist? We can't see it, so we need the science to back it up. And if you'd like more information on that, that would be the place to go. That would be the source. So I teach people how to work with the energy of Reiki myself, which again is that Reiki is that universal life force energy that flows through all of us. And what we do as Reiki therapists is we help people to maintain their optimal wellness or state of well-being that we should all be at, but unfortunately most of us are not. Due to stress and life in general, due to your things like cell phones and microwaves and radio waves, things that come on, toxins coming at us in that aspect, toxins as far as like stress from other people even. All of these things, our own stress too, of course, attack our energy and attack that universal life force, Reiki, that flow of energy. So we get depleted. We get bogged down by all of these toxins that come at us from our environment every day. And if we don't maintain regular cleansing of our energy, that will build up. All the stressors that have come at us will build up over time and manifest into physical disharmony or disease. So basically, science can prove this now. Stress does lead to disease. And what Reiki does is it brings your body, clears it, and brings it back to its optimal level of wellness. It tells the body reminds the body of how to heal itself and where it is supposed to be. So brings you back to wholeness.
If we even think about it on the physical level, that checks out. If your body is not processing, if your physical body is not processing what you take in and take out in a regulated manner in the way it's supposed to, then it just throws you off. People who don't sleep enough, like myself, people who don't eat well, like myself, right. People who just do all sorts of...
All of us, we're human, and we face a lot out in the world, and it's hard to eat a healthy diet every day, and it's hard to avoid stress. I mean, unless you live under a rock, the world is a rough place.
It is.
And, we need to recognize that we have an energy body along with our physical body, and it's all one and connected. And we need to work with both of them in harmony, so that we can really have overall well-being, not just, physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and everything all the way around. So Reiki helps you maintain that, get that balance back. I give private sessions in Reiki. So if someone would like to experience a Reiki session, they can always call me or reach out to me through the website. I would suggest the website you go to would be alchemyfestus.com. That's where I am located at, which is, I want to give a shout out to Marsha Hahn at Alchemy Gallery. She is my great friend, close friend now, and I adore her. She has given me a wonderful, beautiful space within her space at Alchemy Gallery to practice my Reiki and teach it. So I want to say hello to her and to all of my family over at Alchemy. And this is my first time here, so everybody else is you've met Courtney and Tammy and Courtney and Marsha.
Well, not Courtney Red yet.
Not Courtney Red, not Red Courtney yet. Okay, and Lorelei, I think you've met as well. So we've got a great family, and you all know Dale.
Right.
Dale's a big part of the family, and just a lot of love over there. So I want to just say hey to my crew. I wanted to just give a quick shout out to another new member of our family, Reverend Bill Duvendak, and I just want to welcome him, and we all want to welcome him to the Alchemy family. I believe he has been a guest on your show.
Yes, he let us record his class the other week, and he has another class coming up on December 4th.
Nice.
So I believe it's Introduction to Magic. So that'll be quite a big class. So
really looking forward to that one for sure. I will definitely be there for that. He is an amazing teacher and author. So looking forward to all of his new classes and whatever he can bring to Alchemy. It's going to be exciting, and looking forward to all of that. So I wanted to give a shout out to him. He's also been a big teacher and mentor for me in my life in the past 10 years, I'd say. I've known Bill maybe longer than that. I'm not even sure. But from astrology to metaphysics and mediumship and just the list goes on. Bill taught me a lot of what I know. So honoring Bill, shout out, thank you to Bill. And looking forward to working with him again. So this will be a lot of fun. We've done a lot of work together in the past. So I
hear that you have some classes coming up that you want to talk about, and I want to hear about. So
yes, I do. Thank you for reminding me. I do have some classes in Reiki coming up. I did just teach Reiki level 1 that last week, so we're coming up on Reiki level 2, which is going to be December the 5th. So if anybody is looking at Reiki as becoming a practitioner of Reiki, you would want to start at level 1 first, then at level 2, and then we have a level 3. So level 1, I will be reteaching all of these levels. I teach over and over, kind of I'd say every 3 months I start a new series of classes again. So if you missed out on Reiki 1, don't worry, I will be teaching that again. And levels 2 and 3 are coming up in December and January. So anybody that's interested, please reach out or check out the alchemyfestus.com website, and you can find the dates for those classes. Wanted to also mention that we've got a drum circle coming up over at Alchemy Gallery. It's our Yule celebration on December the 18th. And our drum circles, I just want to tell you, I don't know if you've been. You've been.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. They are amazing.
They are so amazing. The energy there and the people. It's just a love. It's just a love fest, basically.
Now be careful how you use that.
Right. Well, the after party, we're not talking about that.
We're not allowed to talk about that now. No.
That's another show. The drum circles are always a good time. And no, the drum circles are meant to bring our community together. And we're open to all paths and all beliefs. You can bring your children to the drum circle. I believe that we think we have an age limit on this one because it's the Yule.
Oh, yeah, because it's Yule.
Because it being Yule. I think this is open to all ages. So bring the family. You're all welcome to join us. It's December 18th, and you can bring your own drum. If you'd like a rattle, anything that you can make noise with, bring it with you. We'll also have some for people to use and borrow. So come out and have some fun with us and meet the Alchemy family. Mm-hmm. And, join us in community. That's what we're here to do, is bring everybody together.
I know growing up, I would have done anything for the type of community that this is, but it was not available to me. Not in this form anyway, and that just would have been great just to be able to do things like this for So
absolutely right. I'm right there with you. I'm so glad that we have the ability to do this now, that we have this for all ages are welcome to join us and learn more about, life and your, follow your path, whatever it may be. Learn about all paths that are available or out there until you choose or create your own.
Yes.
But always follow your own path.
Always follow your own path. As an Aquarius, I live by that almost to a fault. But
amen. Yes.
I would like to thank you for coming in today, and let's remind people where they can reach you. It's Jennifer Rogers, Sacred Spiral, and we also at Alchemy alchemyfestus.com. Look in the events page, and we'll see all the classes coming up. Crystal healing coming up, and all sorts of things. But yes, thank you, Jennifer, for coming in. It has been a true pleasure. Been chasing you down, and I finally saw you outside and just grabbed you by the shirt and pulls you in, and you're here.
You're paying for the hole in the back of my shirt.
Oh, fine, whatever. All right. So
thanks for having me, Dale. It's been fun.
Thank you. All right, everybody, this is Demon Daddy Dale for Bohemian Cauldron saying stay magical out there.
Dale is infallible.